fine.
Okay, yeah, it's recording now.
Cool. So yeah, optional extras.
It's an optional extra, and these are the four records that I've picked that I think influence the rock and roll band Sly and the Family Drone. And Matt can tell me otherwise. Okay? Number one.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Number one, we're going Sun Ra and this album, United World in Outer Space.
Very nice.
Because I think that Sly are kind of jazzy in places, but also I think that Sun Ra brought people together in a very positive way with the way he went around his music. Like I'm getting more and more into jazz. But I've always been into Sun Ra. So I wonder if are they separate things? Like
it feels like Sun Ra for a lot of like people who aren't really into jazz. It resonates in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe because of that, like and that's really cool. And I don't know loads of Sun Ra's music, but I've seen stuff with Marshall Allen and things since, and obviously since Sun Ra passed. But I think that vibe and atmosphere is totally great and exciting.
Number two, I've picked a record by a band that I really like, although I am conflicted by.
Right.
I'm not even sure it's my favorite record, but it is by them. But I do really like it, and it says the band name really big on the front. So.
Yes, nice. I don't know that record. What is that?
Journey Through a Body. The last studio recording by Throbbing Gristle.
Okay, yeah, I haven't got that one.
5 days, a day per body section.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I mean, I love Throbbing Gristle. I never got to see them. I saw Genesis and Aaron Dillaway play together at Cafe Otto, and that was pretty great.
So again, I think they do have a guitar occasionally, and a bass or whatever, but essentially Sly don't famously, quote unquote, do not have stringed instruments.
This is true.
Choice, and yet still come across, especially at that Bristol gig we talked about, still come across like a punk rock band. And that's the same for Throbbing Gristle. Somehow they still came across like a punk rock band, but they were doing other things with their instruments.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Yeah, that's.
This is a current band, although this record is actually about 10 or 15 years old. But it's the Black Dice Beaches and Canyons album. This is one of my favorite ever records.
Yes. Yeah.
It's on DFA, I think. Yes, on DFA. They started off like a little sort of squally hardcore band, right? 7 inches.
Yeah, I've got that 7-inch somewhere. One of the few I kept. And then progressing through that.
And they progressed into something really, really interesting. And this album, I think, is absolute magic.
Yeah. And like Lightning Bolt as well, their art style as well, and probably through. And I've got to see Black Dice a few times, and I interviewed them for Half a Pigeon and stuff, and got to meet them. But it's not the band itself and the progression and the changing, but also their sort of art presentation as well, and associated projects. And Hisham Barucha was playing drums with them as well, and then his like affiliation with the Boredoms and all that kind of stuff just opened me up to loads of other bits. And they're a really important, like, special band for me. Yeah, I love them.
And the final one, this is old, and I picked this up in a charity shop, and I didn't know what I'd bought actually, or I certainly didn't know the fact that it came out on Industrial Records, so it came out on Throbbing Gristle's label. They released it. I didn't know that at the time I picked it up. You can tell the spine is absolutely fucked, like it's a totally naked record. But it's William Burroughs. And it's like his cut up tape stuff.
Yeah.
And again, I think I think I hear it. somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think the original, like Sly started when it was just me doing stuff with cassette tape, and
Yeah.
I moved to London for a sound design course, and used to collect cassette tapes when you could still find them like blown about in the street.
Yeah.
And I used to re-spool them and cut them up and make collages. And obviously, you've no way of knowing what's on a cut up tape, and that you just do it yourself. But it would be like compilations or radio or whatever you would find,
Yeah.
and then piecing it together. And it might be totally fucked or played backwards, and then I tried to physically process it even further, and then started playing shows like that, performing that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, as I say, we did that Wallfire Festival out in Winchester, and I got my friend Toby Jackson to play drums. He was the first drummer in Sly before Kaz, plays a duo, and then trying to make these sort of rhythms and, the processed tape sort of noise and bass warbles and that kind of stuff, and then adding drums to it, and then got Kaz involved as a more electronics and drums, and then we shared the drums, and then it built from that. But yeah, that sort of cut up thing, I didn't really know of it until I was like in it and doing it, and then you get turned on to all this other stuff and the cut up. And yeah, like I think Genesis had talked about Burroughs and Brian Geisen and stuff, and that idea of
like
the
I say, so this is on their label. This is on Industrial Records. So
amazing. I don't know that record, but I'll have to seek it out.
I didn't buy it because it was on that. It was weird. Like it was. I haven't got a price on it, but it was like pennies from a charity shop. If someone was to ask me what my bargain, but it was like this really, because and I it's early 60s.
Yeah.
The earliest one on here is 1959.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
I've been doing like at school. I've been like teaching. I took some classes this week for like doing sound design and radio. They're supposed to be doing radio plays, and the kids are like, their first instinct is to go on YouTube and get a sound of like a dog barking or whatever, or a car door slam. Like, well, but maybe we can record a different sound and make it sound like you don't have to just pull the thing off the internet. So I was getting, like glasses or leaves and getting the mics in nice and close and showing them ways to record, and then, layer it up for a soundscape or whatever to sort of get this idea of, soundscape, or it not being the thing that you see, but you just hear something else. And this kind of concept of like proper Foley sound, like the horseshoes, coconut stuff. But getting like to do that is, and to try and use my sort of knowledge and interest in sound design, and that I get to like show kids to do it is.
Where do you do that?
It's at a school in Golders Green, and I'm the tech manager there in the theatre, and that we get to run. I get access to the theatre to put on other stuff, and we've recorded in there with Sly, and we put on our album launch there, and we had the Jamaica, the lads from the Gate, in West London. They came and did performance, and then we did one together at the ICA as well, which we're going to put out, I think, hopefully next Bandcamp Day. We're going to do a tape of that gig, so that'll, we're just figuring out how to present it, but that we've got the recording, and it's sort of it's pretty rough sounding, but I think the vibes there.
It's a great place.
And I wanted to do stuff with them. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. All good.
Nice one.
Well, thanks, Joe. That's really nice to see those records as well, and that all makes sense, and there's a cool way to present it.
It's a mini part 2 or
Excellent.
Part 1A, however.
For the heads,
For the heads.
Nice one.
Okay.
All right.
Stop it again.
Well, I've taken up loads of